see that how, in what capacity these things are being raised as these questions there. So what are these questions? You might have read on that slides from the material website. You might have gone through those slides. There is a second slide than what we have seen yesterday. There is a full page where several questions are raised here. Let us see here. For example, Oedipus, the Rex, Sophocles' play. What kind of questions is it raising, for which we are still battling to find the answers there? Questions like, who fundamentally controls the world? Yes, who fundamentally controls the world? Is it gods or is it humans? Yes. Is it gods or humans? Who fundamentally controls the world? Then do we have destinies? Yes. Do we have destinies? This question it is raising Oedipus there. If there are destinies, they are so inexorable, they are so unavoidable, and is it very much preordained? Are these destinies inexorable, unavoidable, preordained? Means it has to happen in that way only. We can't know about those things. Inexorable or unavoidable. We can't even avoid by whatever we do. Is that how the destinies operate, or there is a different way that destinies happen? Then shall we try to defy the will of gods? Yes, shall we try to defy the will of gods? This kind of questions like we get from Oedipus. This play tries to raise this. Who fundamentally controls the world? Gods or humans? Do we have destinies? And if we have destinies, are they inexorable, unavoidable, so preordained that it is almost, it has to happen the way it is going on? Or are destinies in different way? Are we writing our destinies, or we just have to follow the already preordained destinies? In case, if we try to go against these destinies, are we going against gods? Are we trying to defy the will of the god? Gods have decided something for us. And if I try to exercise my willpower, am I going against the will of gods? Can I do that? Can we do that? Shall we do that or not? Shall we try to defy the will of gods there? The questions which Oedipus, the Rex, is asking there. Hamlet's questions are like display questions. Questions the kind of universe, we live in, the kind of world, the universe that it is given to us, we live in, that is questioned here. Then it is also questioning whether there is afterlife, whether there is afterlife, and if this afterlife is there, is it with rewards and punishments? Is it with rewards and punishments, this afterlife? Chitragupta, as we say, is there somebody keeping this record, and then rewards and punishments are there with that? Can we know? Can we know? Can we know? This itself is a huge question itself. Can we know? If you just put it in this way also, then this also is that, is it possible for us to know? Can we know? But it continues. Can we know with certainty? With certainty the truth of our situation. Can we know the truth of our situation? This is so tough a thing that, so when we try to do or know something, the truth of our situation also plays a very vital role. And then act, because there is the problem of action is the problem of Hamlet. Then and act with moral responsibility. Moral responsibility. Yeah. So these are these questions which Hamlet is asking us, and then again unanswerable questions. The kind of universe we live in. Hamlet in Dilemma says that why this burden is given to me? Why there is this? Somebody said the father is murdered. This is problem. That is problem. But why this burden is given to me? Why am I to solve this? Why not this universe is so good for me? The way I am good, why this world is not good? He is morally very upright. But then he finds that, well, mother marries, remarries, father is killed, uncle is a murderer, and the Denmark is a rotten state. Denmark is a rotten state. Denmark is a prison. What kind of universe we live in? That question. And then whether there is afterlife or not. How can we know this? And if it is afterlife, are there rewards and punishments? Then our karma matters. If there are rewards and punishments, then karma matters a lot. It is somebody is taking care of karma, and then karmic philosophy, Bhagavad Gita, everything becomes very significant if this is there. But how can we know, is this there or not? How can we know this? Can we know that itself? Can we know the things? And with certainty, the truth of our situation. Right? If Hamlet is there to take revenge of his father's murder, how will he know that am I doing it right or not? Should I do this or not? If I do that, am I better than my uncle or not? How can he know that is it right to do? It is fair to do. It is fair to kill. It is fair to take revenge. How can he know the truth of the situation? As the time passes, today perhaps we say that, well, forgiveness is better than taking revenge. Then coming out of medieval time into Renaissance, taking revenge was something celebrated. So the situations of and the truth of our situations keep on changing. So how can we know that? And then after knowing that, which is obviously very difficult, even if we know this, can we act with moral responsibility? Moral responsibility. If I know that, well, revenge is fine, I have to take revenge. Yes, my father is killed. It is murdered. It is not accidental. That everything is fine. Now, if all these things are clear, now what action should I take? And what will be the moral responsibility? If I say that now I should kill, well, killing moral, given in any condition, in any context, how far killing somebody can become immoral. And if it is so, and if I justify that in given a context, killing is fair, killing is accepted, there is no problem, no moral ethical problem in that context, then Claudius also has killed with the same kind of justification. Then why Claudius's killing is not moral? He also justified that I loved Gertrude and I wanted to become a king. And so he has done that. So is that not an act of moral responsibility? We don't have ultimate answers to that. The play may say that this is this or that, but when we ponder upon this, we find that these questions are still remain unanswered in different contexts. And then finally, waiting for Godot. what kind of questions it is raising, that ultimately all these uncertainties, uncertainties, it is prolonged in waiting for Godot. It is extended. All these uncertainties about human existence, uncertainties about human existence is extended in this play, and it asks the questions like, why are we here? Yes. Why are we here? Are we alone? In a meaningless universe? Are we alone in this meaningless universe? What are we to do? What are we to do while we are here? What are we to do while we are here? How can we know? How can we know? What are we to do? How can we know? And even if we know, what does it matter? Yeah? Does it matter or not? Even if we know that this question, very general kind of a question, that why are we here? What is the purpose of us? Is there any purpose or not? Or everything is purposeless? Why are we? How can we know this whole thing? Are we alone in this meaningless universe, or there is somebody also? Well, Vladimir may say Estragon is there. And then there is somebody like Pozzo and Lucky also coming there. But then what are this? Are they all not alone in this meaningless universe? What are we to do while we are here? Okay, we are here, so well, what we do is like we study, we do this study, that study, we do this job, that job, we work here, we work there. But well, is that for what we are here? For this kinds of works and other kinds of things? If we are not doing these works, then somebody else might be doing that work. If we leave that work suddenly, then what will happen? Will that work end? No, somebody else will carry on with this work. Then what is the meaning of my doing that work? What difference does it make? What are we to do while we are here? The play says just wait. The play says that we are here just to wait. But wait for what? Wait for what? Waiting for Godot. And then what is this Godot? What is this Godot that you are waiting for? What is this? Well, Godot is somebody. Godot is something. Godot, what is Godot? Like that itself becomes a question, that what we are waiting. Well, one can say for whatever we are waiting is Godot. If I am waiting for MA to be completed, MA is my Godot. If I am waiting for a job, then job is my Godot. So it is something that you can't say it is thing or some achievement or some success or this or that. And do we know will it come or not? Perhaps we don't know whether Godot will come or not, but we have to keep on waiting. Once once the one Godot comes, will that be the end of everything? If one Godot comes, will that be the end? Or again somebody will say that now, no, this is not Godot. You still have to wait. The Godot is somebody else. So we again wait for that. And again we pass. If that thing also happens in our life, that thing comes. Can we say that, well, now I have got Godot? No, again you say there is something else. This is also not Godot. This is also not Godot. So how we keep on playing? Yeah? So what are we here while we are here? We keep on waiting for some invisible kind of thing, which we don't know what it is also. We don't know also. Even if it has come, we don't know whether it has come or not, because we don't know what that is. What Godot is, we don't know. And so we keep on waiting there. So what we do, play says we just have to wait ultimately. And ultimately when the final Godot arrives, perhaps it is death. Perhaps the death. Ultimately, it is the death where Godot ultimately arrives. Or is that the ultimate arrival of Godot, which is death? or there is something after death. Is there afterlife? Then what? And suddenly we die, and then there is Chitragupt sitting there, and then there is heaven and hell. There are roads and everything is there. There are rewards and punishment, everything. Then what will we do? Then what will we do? Then again there will be something that, well, stand here and wait. Stand here and still wait. Somebody will come and show you the path that you are supposed to go in this direction or that direction. You are supposed to go to heaven or to hell. Somebody will tell you, wait for Chitragupt. Chitragupt becomes my Godot. And I have to wait for Chitragupt to tell me what are my rewards and punishment, and where should I burn in fire, in hell, at which building, in hell, at which story. That is a huge imagination of hell given by Dante. It is a multi-story building, underground multi-story building. So at which floor is my room booked? In which room, what kind of fire, or is there a boiling oil? Is there a boiling oil? Is there a fire? Where am I supposed to go? Am I going to be in the boiling oil, and then I will come? How long am I going to be there? So I again wait for boiling oil or fire or something, kind of a thing. And then, so what is this? How can we know? This is all these imaginations we can do, all imaginations, but how actually can we know this? And even if we know, does it matter? Does it matter means, can we change our predicament? Can this will not happen if we know this? Perhaps it is not. You can't escape from this. So this is the trap. This is a huge trap in that we get entrapped into. This is a philosophical trap. This is the trap of thinking, overthinking, too much of thinking. But in that trap, to come out is nearly impossible. And the only way sometimes people find to come out from this trap is to kill oneself. Is to kill oneself. In terms like stop thinking. Killing oneself is to stop thinking. We know many stop thinking even before starting to think also. Because many people say, well, ultimately you have to come here only. Then it is better not to start. It is better not to start. વિચારવાનું શરૂ શું કામ કરવું? પછી બધું કરીને પાછું તમારે ત્યાં જ આવવાનું કે ભાઈ કશું કાંઈ સમજાતું નથી. Stop thinking. Commit suicide. Philosophically, like that person in Aankho Dekhi then flies, and he become thoughtless ultimately, and he keeps on flying. That if this is then why should we start thinking at all? Somebody may have that shortcut. આટલું બધું ચાલીને ત્યાં જ આવવાનું હોય તો આપણે પહેલા ત્યાં છે જ. Why should we start thinking at all then? But this is how we can see. So these are but very interesting questions. What is important is that the questions, as we have seen several times, that without questions there is no thinking. Without questions there is no knowledge at all. When people think, people try to explore something beyond several kinds of things. Existentialism or waiting for Godot ultimately reaches at a point where does it matter if we know things or not also? So very idea of knowledge, which starts with questions, it itself is questioned here. It itself is questioned also here. This is the point where many people feel it is nihilistic. It is pessimistic. It is that also people may conclude, because it tries to say that what is the matter ultimately of all these kinds of things also there. So these are the questions which they are raising. But at the same time, it is said that this doesn't mean that these are not wonderful plays. These are very popular plays also. It means that this philosophy is not heavy upon art. Philosophy is not heavy upon art. Even if it has wonderful philosophical questions, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have artistic beauty. Oedipus, Sophocles is one of the best plays to watch also, to read also. Hamlet is also performed even today. And Waiting for Godot obviously was a very hilarious and very successful play performance. A very successful play performance it was there. So the philosophy is not at the cost of art. Art, aesthetic delight, enjoyment. So they are artistic marvel also. They are artistic marvel, this works. But at the same time with art, they are very deeply rooted in pertinent philosophical questions for which people are battling for centuries to find answers, and they remain baffled or perplexed into finding these answers there. Okay? So this is how this play and this theme also becomes very significant when we look into this context here. Any questions if you have here in this aspect, in this? Always remember, philosophy is not too heavy upon the artistic delight of these plays. So they are marvelous artistic success also. That's why they are known as a work of literature, not work of philosophies. They are not work of philosophies. But this beautiful art has very interesting philosophical questions also. And all this thing becomes pertinent for existential questioning or existentialism. Everywhere, all this becomes very significant also. Okay, any questions here? Anybody?
No, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so then this point I end here. This point, let me okay, stop this recording here before